Hello YouTubers, I have for you a StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void replay. So I've been playing this game for a couple days now. It just came out 2 days ago. And StarCraft, I'd gotta say, has delivered very well once again. I've been experimenting very heavily with some of the new units. I like the Cyclone. I really love the Liberator. It's a very limited unit, and right now, because not a whole lot of people know exactly how it works, you can take advantage of that. So I sped through most of this replay, but my opponent here is the Protoss. And he goes for a pretty standard play. Looks like he's not too interested about the changes in the game. He just wants to mass an army and cream me. Here at my home base, started with a factory, build a barracks for defense, got a siege tank, and I want to scout him out with a Cyclone. As you can see, all I had was a barracks, a siege tank, and a Cyclone. If he decided to push, he might have been able to break through, but I don't know. So in response, I pulled all my workers, got ready. As I see, he's got a big army, so he's probably trying to end the game right now. So what I try to do is use my Cyclone to pull him off of my front door. He takes it. Cyclone is such a good duelist. One-on-one, it's gonna handle just about any unit. But in a mass fight, I don't see the Cyclone being all that great. So this is a sticky situation. If he decided to come down and push me right now, it could be devastating. But as you see, he's also guarding his front door, doesn't want me to kill any of his workers. So I do get to put down my expansion. And I try to show that I'm being greedy. Now that I have some adequate defense, I want him to attack my fake expansion, so I go ahead and put it down and start pushing workers to my real expansion. This entrance here is really wide, so I didn't really want to put a whole lot of dedicated defense on it. I want to spread it out so later I can actually turn my third expansion into a real expansion. He spots my expansion, he wants to take it out. So I try to distract him, bring him back home, get some of his attention away from the expansion that I'm now starting to saturate. So he pulls his workers off of his main and starts going for another expansion. In this game, we're both very single-minded. We both had a game plan going in, and we both stick with it. My game plan has been the Liberator. I'm trying to find its weakness and strength. And I don't know. He's going for a single adept, and he's going for old school Colossi. stalker combination. So I decide, well, he's gonna put up an expansion, I better do some damage. And as you can see, the Liberator does significant damage to his mineral line as well as his army. That puts me ahead in worker count. His first base is unsaturated. His second expansion is completely decimated. And after seeing that I went heavy on Liberators, let's see what he does. He tries to take out my expansion. For all you Protoss players, in this case, you want to take out the siege tanks and not just aim for the building that's being repaired. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have gotten it even if he did take out the siege tanks, but he would have done more damage. So I think he used that tactic just to keep me off of him so he could saturate his expansion, but he should have just went in and pulled out. I wonder if he's got range on his Colossi. Nope, he didn't even get range for his Colossi. Some more harass tactics. I was expecting more workers, but yeah. Take what you can get, right? So right now he's not getting a whole lot of gas. Doesn't seem like he needs it. He's going heavy on Colossi, and I don't know where he's getting the rest of his gas to fuel his army. Here's a mistake. I did not put enough turret and defense around my base to keep him from scouting, so if he was more careful, he could have scouted out my entire base. We're not too worried about that. Let's get some action. So I'm pretty single-minded. I know he's got an expansion. I'm gonna keep attacking it. Make him pile his army into there and see what I can take. So I know which direction he's coming in from. Gonna siege up my Liberators. And you can see the Colossi are just devastating my army. They are doing so much damage. Look at them dance. I did most of the damage that I could, so I pull out. His worker line is again decimated. He's going for another expansion. And in the meanwhile, I've built up 2 expansions to the far right. Now if he went and attacked these, I have air, so my air is mobile. He should be able to take out something. And in response to Liberators, he gets Zealots. Not sure what that's all about. His 3rd expansion still not saturated for the gas. And going heavy Zealots. At this point I should be getting worried. I have adequate expansions, but I need to scout better. I don't have scouts at the other possible expansions that he should have. So let's take a look at what I know. I don't know about his expansion here, but I'm pretty sure he's got an expansion somewhere. I really want to take out his main base and get rid of some of his tech. So I'm not too worried about his expansions. I just want to prolong the game and test out this awesome new unit. So I decide to not really go for his expansions. Whereas Trojan, man, you gotta scout. He has no idea I have 2 expansions here, and he really has no idea what's going on in my base either. He should know that I went heavy Liberator. I still have my Liberators. And here we have another offensive. It's a really nice army he's got, pretty big. We're both capped out. Piling on the stalkers and zealots for our siege tanks. The Liberators respawn. My base is gone. He should pull out. And look at that damage. I'm not sure that a bunch of turrets and 2. Oh, here we go. Almost lose my Ravens. I think he's caught on, gentlemen. I think he's caught up with what I'm doing. I have 3 expansions over here now. He's very adamant about taking out my main base as I am his. So I'm gonna try to pull him off of my base, because really I have no defense at home. So his proper response would be just test out my front door and either go home or go heavy into my base. I was thinking that he's gonna go heavy on the defense as he's done in the past, but he does the right thing. He scouts out my base. Here, he should really just go in and do some real damage. Taking out a couple of command centers when I have this much minerals doesn't really help him. So this is where you can see the mobile air army is not really that mobile. My units are separated, they're trickling back down home, and it's bad. This would be really bad if he decided to actually go in and do some real damage. This is a terrible response on my part. He does a great job, decides to fully engage and decimate my Liberators before they could siege up. At this point, I'm really scared. He could just jump in and really take the game here. But I'm going to try to keep the pressure off of my main base. If I was able to micro better, I could warp my battlecruisers out one at a time. But that's where we are. I'm just trying to keep them off of myself. Just throwing everything out there. Again, I'm just trying to keep the pressure off of my base. A little spooked. Not sure where his army is. And I don't think I have any... Oh, I do have scans, so I'm not sure why I didn't scan and try to find out where his army is. I'm really just trying to rebuild my army right now. I should have really gone for something that would counter stalkers. Liberator and battlecruisers do pretty well, but they're not the hard counter for stalkers. But if I did go Marauders, he's still very adamant about his Colossi. Liberators are such an awesome late game unit, but I'm still trying to master how to use them. His full Stalker army is doing so much better than his Colossi Zealot Stalker combination. See where he's going. I'm just gonna try to put a little bit up and see if he engages. I don't siege all of my... I guess I did. I should not have sieged all my Liberators. So he's coming in. I want to do a base trade with him because I do have the well-saturated expansion over here. And I'm going to see if he takes the base trade. We have to try to predict where he's going to come from, so I'm just covering all angles. If he did come up from here, I would have had to move my army and probably lost a good chunk of it, but he's very single-minded. I'm really trying to bait him into here, and since he's not going to take it, I'm going to try to move back and give him a path in. He takes the bait, and this Colossi once again doing devastating damage. And as you can see, the Liberator is not a unit to be trifled with. I'm still playing around with this army composition. It's fairly mobile, but having to siege up puts another spin on things. I wish I would have brought more, a few siege tanks, maybe medevacs. But I'm still playing around with this army composition, and 3 or 4 different unit types is a fairly good amount to handle, especially when they all have abilities to take advantage of. My Valkyries should really be doing some ground damage as well right now. Well, that's it for this game, and I'll see you guys next time.